Hello, guys, and welcome to the last Premier League predictions, week 38 of this Premier League season. I'm going to actually miss doing these over the summer for you guys because I do really enjoy them. But guys, before we start jumping to the video, I'm going to make it really quick. Two quick things I just wanted to say. Firstly, if you didn't see the note, we are going to start bringing back some general football content to the channel. So we're going to be keeping you up to date with all the latest transfer rumours throughout the summer. We're going to be having some debates as James is going to be able to come back to the channel a little bit more soon. And plus, I just want to say a massive thank you for your support. When we obviously moved to start making some Wolves content, I did think a lot of you guys that aren't really interested in the Wolves content would leave. You didn't. You stuck with us. So that's why I've realised now we don't just have to make Wolves content. We don't just have to make general football content. We can do both. So we're hoping that this channel will be the best for all of you, no matter if you're a Wolves fan or not a Wolves fan. So basically, the general content is here to stay. And to celebrate that, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel and let's get on with these Premier League predictions. Right, starting off with Aston Villa taking on Brighton. And the other thing I quickly want to say was thank you for the 2.2 thousand views that we achieved last week as well. Right, Aston Villa taking on Brighton before you guys get bored of me. This is going to be a really interesting game, but there's probably not going to be as much on it as we perhaps thought. At one stage, maybe this could have been the game to decide who finishes in sixth place. But it does look like Brighton are going to get over the line with that. Of course, I'm recording this before they play. I think they play on Thursday night. There's a game on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm recording it before either of those games. But I don't think there's going to be much to play for in terms of Brighton. They're going to have sixth place secured. But Villa, they're going to have to fight off Spurs team that have got leads. So I think Villa, they're going to be really wanting to go for this one. They have obviously got the advantage of it being at Villa Park as well. And I think just because Aston Villa are the home team, I'm going to narrowly give it to Aston Villa 2-1. Let's move on to what could be a huge game. Of course, it was a huge last-minute equaliser for Everton, who, it just gives them some hope, doesn't it? And they're coming back to Goodison to take on a Bournemouth team. Now, of course, as we know, a win for Everton would be enough. Question is, are they going to get that win? It really depends how much Bournemouth are up for this game. Last game of the season, of course, it's not being played in front of the home fans. And secondly, how are Everton going to cope with the pressure? With it being at Goodison, there's going to be a lot of pressure, especially if they concede first. They're also without Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so they really need somebody to step up and get the goal. I still just have a feeling though that Everton are going to edge this one. I do. I think Everton will get the win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory. I think Dyche is going to pull up for a masterclass, get that one first goal, shut up shop. And of course, this would obviously then mean no matter what Leeds do, they would not be safe if my prediction comes true. But Leeds fans, if you are watching, you might want to just ignore my Everton prediction. It really damning comments what Sam Allardyce said about the team, basically saying pretty much that they're just not fit enough. They're not fit enough. They haven't got enough in attack. And they're quite weak defensively. It was weird comments from Allardyce, but maybe he's trying something different. Maybe he's tried the supportive tactic. He's trying to take the pressure off them as well. Maybe he's just thinking this final game of the season, I'm going to put it back on you guys. You need to prove to these fans that one, they're good enough, that you are good enough, and two, you've got the fight and the passion, because you showed it in the first half, but you definitely did not show it in the second half against West Ham. So maybe another interesting tactic from Allardyce. Maybe it's the last chance for him to see if he can get something to stick, something to work. They're coming up against a Spurs team, though, that will have a lot on the game themselves. They're going to need a win. They probably need something to have any hope of keeping Harry Kane, in my opinion. I still don't think it will be enough. This is going to be a difficult game to predict, in all honesty. But I just have no faith in Spurs at the moment, especially away from home. I think this is going to be a huge season for them, but they're going to want to forget. And I think with Leeds at Ellen Road, that's going to be a really tough atmosphere, especially with it meaning so much this game. So this is going to be a bit of a prediction which I don't think many will agree with, but I'm actually going to go 2-1 Leeds in this one. Maybe Harry Kane will probably get another goal. Brentford, who take on the champions 3 times in a row champions, Manchester City. Wow, this team is amazing, isn't it? Let's be honest. Man City's team, wow, just wow in general. Even when they're playing the bench players, they still look fantastic. They're still doing amazing things. They look brilliant in the Champions League. The deserved Premier League champion winners. They take on a Brentford team that are doing well in themselves. Of course, the last 2 games now, they've not had Ivan Toney. Well, not really missed him because they're still scoring. Players are still stepping up. And I think there could be a temptation next year to write Brentford off without Ivan Toney. It'd be interesting to see where people put them in the Premier League predictions without him at the helm. But I think Brentford will still be okay. They might not perform as well as last season, but this season, I should say. But I still think they'll do well. But I've got to say in this game, I still fancy Man City to get the job done. Brentford's not an easy place to go, mind. So I'm going to go 3-1. I do think Brentford will get a goal. Manchester United now taking on Fulham. It depends how obviously Manchester United get on in the midweek games, but they could possibly still need something against Fulham. They only need, I think it's a point, isn't it, to basically confirm their Premier League, not Premier League, their Champions League for next season. Fulham, they've had a pretty good season themselves, and I think it's be 2 teams which will be pretty happy with what's happened this season. But both teams will probably want to progress, do one better next season. United, we wanted to go for a title charge, maybe. And then I reckon Fulham, they'll be wanting to see if they can take that next step, try and get good old Craven Cottage back into European football. I remember those nights when the Europa League used to be on Channel 5 and we used to be able to watch it for free. Fulham always seem to be in it in those times off my memory, but maybe my memory's awful. In this game, though, I think it's going to be a good one. I'm going to go 1-1 and not going to be too much on that. I've not skipped a team, have I there? No, I haven't. Chelsea, who take on Newcastle next. Well, this is going to be an interesting game because, of course, Newcastle there over the line. Fair play to Newcastle, Champions League football confirmed. Chelsea, season to forget, but will Lampard want to be finishing in style, maybe get a win? There's not really a lot on this, is there? So I'm not going to spend too long on it. And I do think Newcastle win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Newcastle. Leicester, who take on West Ham. And as seen against Leeds, West Ham, they may be safe, but they're still fighting. They're still bringing integrity to the league. But will they rest a lot of players? They've got the Conference League final coming up. There's probably no need to play some of their best players in this one. I think there will be changes, which I think will annoy the likes of Everton. It'll annoy the likes of Leeds as well, but it's away from home. They've got the Europa Conference League coming up, the final of that. I don't think they're going to want some of their big stars to get injured. So I think some players will be rested. That gives Leicester an opportunity. Will they take it, though? And secondly, will it be enough? I am going to fancy Leicester in this one, I'm going to back Leicester 2-1. I don't know how many 2-1s I've predicted. I feel like I've predicted a few in this video, but I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. Be interesting to see, obviously, if it's enough. My, as always, Wolves game versus Arsenal, full match preview coming out tomorrow. Southampton, who take on Liverpool, obviously the team which has poached so many of their stars in recent years, and maybe one of the reasons that the Saints are now finding themselves playing in the Championship next season. Liverpool will need some sort of miracle to get 4th spot, and by the time they actually step on the field come Sunday, United might have already got something in midweek and they can't get 4th spot. But I still think they'll be wanting to finish the season in style. The massive rebuild project going on for both teams, actually, in obviously different aspects. Southampton, they'll probably lose some players. They'll probably rebuild for the Championship. Liverpool, they'll be rebuilding to at least try and get back into the Champions League, but to probably start competing again with the likes of City, your Arsenals, and going for the title challenge next season. I am going to give it to Liverpool because Southampton are kind of just whimpering out, aren't they? They're going out with a bit of a whimper, so 3-0 to Liverpool. Palace versus Forest. And one thing that wasn't surprising is I heard some odds on Talk Sport, I think it was. It's only like 9-4 or something for there to be over 3.5 goals in this game, which just shows the kind of game that everyone is expecting. And I must say, I'm expecting the same. Both teams that are going to be happy, they're playing in the Premier League next season. Forest, they obviously confirmed their championship survival last weekend. So this one won't really mean too much to either. We know both of these teams have got players that could go out, play with style, get a goal. Our he's hitting some form towards the end of the season. Be interesting to see how he gets on next season. But both, I just expect a really good game. I'm going to go 2-2. And that is my final Premier League predictions. Of course, guys, as I said at the start of the video, there is going to be a lot still happening on this channel throughout the summer. So if you are new, please do hit that subscribe button. And guys, let's finish this final Premier League predictions with a bang. And to do that, I'm going to need you to hit that like button for me right now. And hopefully you'll stay with me throughout the summer. I'll be bringing you up to date with all the latest transfer rumours, 5-6 minute bite-sized videos. So even if you don't support the club, you can find out about who maybe some of your rivals are signing and what they're all about. And we'll be doing loads of other stuff as well. So guys, hopefully I'll see you over the summer. But if I don't see you to the next Premier League predictions, have a great summer. See you again. Take care. Goodbye.